kicking us off today with the first key for happiness, which is giving. So there's two sides to giving. There's also receiving. So how I thought we could start off today was just a little bit of reflection, and I would just like you to think of a few moments to think of a time when somebody's helped you, somebody's given you something. Just have a little think about that. Something that you might have really valued, or something that's really helped you. And what was at the heart of that thing that you received? Did they give you something you really needed? Did they offer you advice? Did they give you their time? Did they help you out by giving you their time? Did they sit and listen to you? Or did they present you with an opportunity that you might otherwise have missed? So what was at the heart of that thing you really valued? And why did you value that thing that you got? Was it unexpected? Did it come from an unexpected source? Or was it the thing you really needed at that time? Or was it because somebody had actually taken time out of their day to think about your needs and what you wanted, and that person had then gone out of their way to help you? So that thing that you really valued, that you received, how did it make you feel? Did it make you feel relieved, valued, respected, suspicious maybe even, important, shocked, grateful? Because giving has two sides, it has the receiving. But now we're going to flip that coin and think about the person who gave you that thing. And how would they have felt by helping you out? Because science tells us that people who give to others or who help others are generally more satisfied with their lives, they have a greater sense of meaning in their lives, feel more confident, they have an improved mood, reduced stress, and it also can be a distraction from their own problems and their own life circumstances. We are a highly social species, and we've evolved to live in groups. So altruism was at the heart of that. Altruism builds social connections. It creates stronger, more supportive social networks. And without that, the human race would never have survived. And we're in a very old location in Middlesbrough, and this was a very poor location. Without cooperation, the people who lived in this district probably would never have survived. So I'm going to go so far as to say that giving and helping each other is kind of built into us. It's built into part of who we are, and it's that social glue that keeps our communities together, and it leads to increased happiness and well-being for the person who does the giving as well. And when we talk about giving, we often think about money, and we think about the amazing amounts that are raised at Great North Run and the London Marathon. But giving can be so much more than just money, because in essence, giving is an act of thoughtfulness. It's about that with a person. It's about a moment of attention, a moment of caring, and a moment of connection with others. Priceless. What can we give? Now, I can't read this from here, so as you get a bit closer, I can read this way. So what else can we give other than money? There's some amazing stuff on there that we can give to each other as part of being a community. Your attention, your energy, your knowledge, a bit of understanding, creating a space in your life for somebody, and if you can give them that space in your life, that is so valuable. An opportunity, loyalty, we can give loyalty to each other. That would be amazing, wouldn't it? There's so much more we can give, and that's what I'm going to ask you to think about moving forward, is what can we all give? As the great writer Mark Twain said, the best way to cheer yourself up is to cheer somebody else up, and I truly believe that. Because the thing I would like us to think about next is the giving of time, because time, for me, is the most valuable commodity that any of us have got. And it's the most valuable commodity because none of us know how much we've got. And it's the most important thing that you'll ever give to anybody. So I've been lucky enough over the last 20 years to work with the voluntary sector, in the voluntary sector and with the voluntary sector. And I've seen some absolutely amazing volunteers do some absolutely amazing stuff and have some absolutely amazing outcomes, all free, all time that's been given. But we're getting to a little bit of a crisis with volunteering. A lot of our volunteers are getting older. COVID's kind of exacerbated it. They're kind of leaving the volunteering, but we're not getting as many volunteers through the services that we like. And this leaves some of our community activities very vulnerable, and some of our most important community activities as well. So I'm going to use my 8 minutes as a call for volunteering and to try and engage more volunteers. Sorry, I'm just looking at the time. I was thinking 2 minutes. I've only been talking for 2 minutes. That's not like me. So it's a two-sided coin. Volunteering is a two-sided coin. By volunteering in your community, the people or the animals or whoever it is you volunteer with will benefit tremendously. But as a volunteer, so will you. Volunteering is very directly related to increased happiness, and that's irrespective of the financial or social circumstances that volunteer comes from. And I've been very privileged to work with some of the most prolific volunteers who volunteer so much of their time, and they've got very little limited financial resources themselves. So that doesn't just hold. So it doesn't just hold for adults; it also holds for teenagers. So teenage volunteering is also a massive benefit as well. So it improves kids' self-esteem. It reduces antisocial behaviour and problematic behaviours, reduces truancy, improves attitudes to school, and it increases their educational attainment at school as well. So it's across the board. These are the outcomes of volunteering. I'm not going to go through them all. But these are the outcomes, not for the people you're working with, not the people you're given, but these are the outcomes for the people who volunteer. Now, if I was to give somebody a gift, and it was all of that list of things there, what an amazing gift that will be to somebody. By volunteering, you can give yourself that gift, because that's what you will get from volunteering. And it's not just my idea, these are studies have shown that these things are true. So, my last 42 seconds, it's a call to action, obviously. So, I would like everybody in the room to think about volunteering 1 hour of their time over the coming weeks, and giving that to your friends, your family, or your community, whoever needs it. We've got about 30 odd people here, so that's almost a working week worth of help and volunteering that we could give just by 1 hour. But also, I would like you to think about incorporating it into your working lives as well, and how can you create services within your services, how can you create opportunities for your clients to volunteer. So, not run a community centre, because they are massively big volunteering commitments, but things like peer support and how can we build that into other services. And just to finish off, that's my last quote of the day. We'll only ever rise by lifting others.